Okay, so it's day 88. Yeah, I've got a few things that I want to kind of talk about today. I no, no, I'm not going to give you like a whole intro on what I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to get straight into it. So, the other day, I was in a call with Evan again. I keep mentioning him in all the videos. I mean, he's a proper G. So I think I meant to link his Instagram in the last video or the video before or whatever, and I forgot to do so. So I'll do that now. I'll put his link in here, and I'll tell you why you should follow him now. So he kind of, I don't think he actually meant to like inform me of this, but I always go to the gym and I'm listening to music, right? And although this is going to seem so obvious, instead of listening to random music of whatever it is that you're listening to, he was just saying, oh yeah, I was listening to this podcast in the gym, and I was like, oh shit, you know what, actually I should start listening to stuff in the gym while I'm doing like, I'm in the gym, right? Instead of just listening to random music. So I then thought, right, what value do I need to learn to maximize the business that I'm doing? Like, what skills do I need to learn? And then I kind of wrote it down. I was like, okay, sales is probably number one. Then cold email, cold DM, because obviously you can't do sales if you can't get them on the call. So you have to get them on the call initially, and to do that, you have to optimize the message that you're sending to them, right? To first of all get a reply and then get them on a call. So there's that, and there's a few things that I kind of wrote down that I wanted to learn. So I realized that if you get YouTube Premium, you can listen to YouTube when you turn your phone off, because when you haven't got Premium, you can just turn your phone off and then YouTube videos just stops, right? But like Spotify, if you pay for YouTube Premium, you can just listen to any YouTube video in your headphones whilst your phone is off. So you can listen to Sales by Alex Hormozi, you can listen to Sales by various other people, and like optimizing sales, how to be the best salesman you can be, or whatever. And so this is where it comes in, the hack comes in. You can listen to this to YouTube Premium. If you go on YouTube Premium now, if you've never had it before, which I imagine most of you haven't, because I've never even contemplated getting it, you can get a 3 month free trial, 0 cost, and you can just do exactly what I've just said. So you can go to the gym and listen to whatever it is that you think would help you out learning, whether it be with school, whether it be with studying, whether it be with a business venture that you're going into and how to kind of like set certain things up, or wherever you are in life, right? It depends from person to person. You can just learn whatever it is that you need to learn while you're in the gym. And I sat there today learning, like Alex Hormozi talking to a group of like 100 people on how to be the best salesman, from a video that from like 200, yeah, it had 200 people in it, from about 4 years back. And he kind of just went over how to be a salesman and how you don't want to, no one gives a fuck about your product. They give a fuck about how your product's going to get them from A to B, and how they want to get a six pack, or they want to make this much money with their business, or they want to be able to do more with their kids, or they want to be able to do more with their wife, or they want to be able to live the lifestyle that they want to live. And you've got to pivot yourself and put yourself in the position to which your business is going to get them from where they are right now to living the life that they want to live, right? And you have to sell them the dream. And then with that, you then insert your business and say, right, so my business is going to, so we do this specific thing to which our business can get you from A to B, and this is how we're going to do it. You don't go into in-depth because they don't give a fuck. They just want to know, and they want to, before you do anything, they need to trust you. So you just keep talking to them, asking them questions, and also getting an understanding of them, so you can actually go with empathy and say, this is what we're going to do to help you out. And I understand your complete position now. I understand where you want to get to, and what we can do is do this. But before you even get to that, you say, you just gain their trust, right? And you kind of repeat back what they've said and show that you understand what their issue is, and show you completely understand where you want to get to which they're then going to be sat there like, oh shit, this guy's actually listening to me. This guy actually understands where I'm going and where I want to get to which he's then going to realize that you actually understand what the solution would be. And if you can actually then present your solution to them and say how your solution is going to get them from A to B, in a nice way, rather than just shoving it down their throat, talking for 15 minutes, running them through the whole proposal. Yeah, so we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and this, and this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. No one gives a... They're not listening. They switch off after the first second. They want you to listen to them. And then you, at the end of this call, you then pitch what your thing is going to do to change their life, which it will change their life. So the way that I'm kind of formulating this is in a way in which you're going to be thinking to yourself, okay, this is kind of sociopathic, like you're just kind of doing whatever. But in truth, you know your product works. And if you don't know your product works, then the person that you're trying to sell it to is going to be able to pick up on that, because we're good at picking up human kind of interaction, human stuff. So you go and sit there and you propose this to them. And if you wouldn't sell it to your mum, then you're not going to have any conviction selling it to them, right? So you of course, if your product was good and you fully believe in your product, you would sell it to your mum. To which everything I ever sell, I would sell to my mum. Although my mum isn't an influencer trying to do short form content or trying to build a community or whatever, I would sell it to my mum, because I am morally like a good person, and I believe that, I know that, because I'm not looking to fuck anyone over, and that's the last thing on my mind, because that's just the person that I am and the person that I've been brought up to be. So I have full conviction in my product that I'm selling, that it's going to be able to get them from A to B, from their current situation to their desired situation. And you can then insert your thing and say, okay, so I understand. So this is where you want to get to. This is where you are. And this is how my thing's going to help you get there, right? You don't say, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. They don't give a fuck. So there's that. I mean, that's kind of, I kind of knew that already, but he just kind of emphasized that. And it's just things like that, right? Obviously, I'm 20, so I'm not going to know everything in the fucking world. But I'm on a mission to learn as much as I can about a specific few things that I know are going to propel me forward. And I think that's what you all should be doing as well, is understanding that you don't know fucking everything. And if you did, you would be Elon Musk. But even Elon Musk doesn't know everything, but he's in a position to which he can do a lot of things, right? But you've got to understand that your ego is your biggest enemy, and you've got to and sit there and be like, right, I'm not fucking perfect. I don't know shit about this. I need to learn about this. I don't know shit about this. I can learn about this. And then you use moments like when you're in the gym to learn about them. Simple as that. And also another thing I found when I was doing this in the gym was today, and I did it the day before as well, was I don't like when you're doing a workout. Usually, I don't know if I imagine you will have this, but I'm kind of conscious to it. When you finish your set, you go on your phone, because I don't know why it is. Maybe it's the social norm to do so, rather than just sit there staring at a wall like this for a minute 30 as you rest, and then you go and do it again. And you just sit on your phone because you don't look like a weirdo, or you just go on your phone because you're addicted to your phone and you can't get off it, and you always need that hit of dopamine every time you're trying to do something, and you can't live without it. So your dopamine baseline is here, and you want it to be here. Otherwise, it's just going to be incredibly hard to focus on something that isn't incredibly stimulating, to which you will never get anywhere with your work, because your work is never going to be stimulating, really. Obviously, of course, it's going to be somewhat stimulating, but never to the extent of TikTok and stuff. So your baseline is always going to be fucking up here, and you're never going to be able to focus on what it is that you want to do, because you always need that stimulation up here, which is the same idea with the gym and why you go on your phone. So just cut it out. I say this every fucking video. But cut it out. But yeah, as I was saying, like when I'm listening to this podcast by whoever on whatever topic, because I'm so engrossed in what they're talking about, it doesn't even occur to me to go on my phone to do whatever. I'm just kind of engrossed in what it is that I'm listening to. Whereas with music, it's just a fucking song. Like, you're not sat there singing the song. You're not sat there like karaokeing the song. So of course it's just like background noise, to which you're going to need an extra bit of stimulant as soon as you finish doing this. So yeah, you get the idea. I don't need to tell you. But that's my bit of value for today. Of course, I've had a shower today, so excuse the hair, but we don't care. And yeah, another thing that I learned is I was reading a book last night and yeah, I read books as much as I feel like I want to do my work while I'm doing them. I read them because they've absolutely changed my life, and I wouldn't be able to sit here with the conviction on certain topics that I have, or the conviction that I believe, on certain topics without books. I mean, I've read like 80. I say this all the time, but I've read like 80 books since I was 17, and best thing I ever did. Like best fucking thing. I think any successful person, they sit there and they say they've read these books. They said they've read a shit ton of books, and after reading a shit ton of books, I can tell you that it fucking makes a difference. Like, it is crazy how much of a difference it makes. But yeah, I know I'm gonna look like a massive Alex Hormozi fanboy, but I got given this book for Christmas, and also I listened to his video earlier. But I mean, he's one of the best guys on YouTube for sales. There's of course there's a load of other guys that are absolute killers at it, but I was listening to that video at the time. But I'm reading this book called $100 Million Leads, and basically the part that I was reading, which is section 2, I believe, was emphasizing how important it is to offer value up front. And if you want to get more leads in that are interested in you and trust in you, you need to offer value up front. And then when you offer that value for free value, whatever it may be, whatever it is that you're selling. For example, you're selling a step-by-step process to which you can offer free value. For example, I'll give you an example. This is an example from the book. We're checking houses for. We're checking houses for cockroaches or whatever. Is it cockroach? I think it was cockroach. It doesn't matter. We're checking houses for cockroaches, and we can get rid of cockroaches. But we're offering free house checks for cockroaches. To which you can then check the house for cockroaches for free. You do it absolutely free of charge. But then when you finish that offer of free value, you then say to them, right, you've got cockroaches, to which we can get rid of the cockroaches for you, and it costs this much. Or you don't have cockroaches, but a lot of people in the area have been getting cockroaches recently or have cockroaches, to which we can stop cockroaches coming into your house by doing this. So with offering the free value up front, you've then put them in a position to which they've either got cockroaches or they don't. But you've got an offer, and your core offer is you can either get rid of the cockroaches or you can stop cockroaches from coming. To which, regardless of the outcome of you going into the house and seeing what there is, whether there are cockroaches or not, you're in a position to which you can sell regardless of that. So it's putting yourself in a position to which you fix the first problem, but by doing that, you uncover another problem, and that's where your sale comes in. And by offering the first initial bit of value up front, they then have trust in you as well, to which they're not going to go anywhere else to do this fucking cockroach thing. If they want their cockroach issue sorted, they're going to go to you, because you're the guy that they've trust, and they've had nice conversations with, maybe, and they've given tea and biscuits to, and whatever. And of course, you like, if you're a prick and you go in there and you're just like, yeah, fuck, yeah, we'll be done in there. Of course, they'll just be like, yeah, we don't give a fuck. Like, we'll find someone else to do it. So of course, you got to be nice, and that's where it comes down to being the nicest person and being the nicest person you can, but also offering the best service that you can in the free trial. Don't just diminish your service because it's free. You need your free service to be as on the same baseline, like the same standard as your core offer. Because they gain trust in you, and of course that's how people are going to get a standard kind of like idea of where you're at in your business. And if you offer a shit product, then everyone out, they're going to, by word of mouth, everyone else is going to find out that the guys that check for cockroaches are awful. Don't talk to them, even if it's free. It's awful. Whereas if you do a good product, by word of mouth, you're going to get referred to other people. Oh yeah, the other day we had people looking for cockroaches in our house. Yeah, they were really nice guys. He was telling me about this and how this happened the other day, and So by word of mouth, you're already getting more and more leads by just being a nice person doing a good job, even though it's free. So even if they don't pay you, they're then going to just, by word of mouth, if you do it enough times, more people are going to tell people about you, and it's just going to compound from there, and it's just going to snowball, and then you're going to have too many people to deal with, and that's just how business scales, really. I mean, there's other ways, but on the whole, it's just like, the more you do, the more outcome you get. The more you put, it's like Newton's law. The more you put in, the more you get out, right? An input has exactly the same of output, if that makes sense. Like, I haven't stated that at all well, but you get the idea. So I've been talking for 15 minutes. I think this has been pretty valuable. I don't know how I keep coming out with different topics every time I start these videos, but yeah, you get the idea. And I mean, my 3 bullet points for this video were gym with value over music, offer value up front, and sales. And I think I've covered those 3 things. So yeah. So I can't emphasize enough the value of reverse engineering your goals. Whatever your goals are, I think I did it on Miro the other day, but reverse engineering 10k a month, reverse engineering buying this house that you want to buy with your to your family home that you want for your wife and your kids to live in as well as yourself. Whatever it is, you reverse engineer the car you want to buy. Okay, how much is the car? Okay, it's this much. Okay, how much do I need to be making to be able to afford this car as well as everything else that I need to pay for? Okay, I need to be making 5k a month. Okay, so I'm currently working a 9 to 5. I'm getting paid 3,000 a month every month. Let's just say for easy numbers let's forget about tax. Obviously you include tax at some point, but okay, I'm getting paid £3,000. I need to make another 2,000 if I want to buy this car and be able to pay for it as well as my other expenses, rather than just buying it and financing it like every other retard, and then they run out of money because all they're paying for is a car. Okay, I need to be making an extra £2,000. Okay, so I want to start a business that offers that I could literally sell. You can literally sell anything. Money is everywhere. That sells honey. Honey. This is probably a shit example. Actually, let's not do honey because it's such a low ticket sale. Let's just do a service because it's easy. I want to sell website design. Okay. So how much are you going to sell your website design for? My website design is, I'm going to charge £300 per client. I don't know. I don't sell website design, so I couldn't tell you. But £300, and we will. Or I think you probably should charge more than 300. Let's just say 500. I think 500 is like the industry average if you're doing a proper website. Maybe it's probably more than that actually. A landing page maybe 500. I don't know. Point is, you get 500 from the website. Doesn't matter. It's just an example. It's just an example, but you get the idea. So for you to be making an extra £200, $200 a month, we'll go off dollars. You need to sell 4 website designs every single month. Okay, so you need to be making 4 website designs every month. To which, this is where you keep going back. If you're going by cold emails rather than paid ads or anything else, how many cold emails do I need to send to get a sales call? How many emails do I need to send? Maybe 100. Just say industry average 100. That's 1% of like a 1%. Like that's usually the industry average of everything. So 1% I need for a call. I then close 1 in 3 calls. Let's just be conservative. 1 in 3 calls I close. Okay, for which to sell 4 website designs every month, you need to be sending a total of 1,200 emails every month. For you to therefore sending 12 emails, that equivalates to 12 calls, thereabouts, and then you're closing 1 in every 3 calls. So for you to close 4 clients, you need to be sending 1,400 emails, to which you're going to have 12 calls from that. And if you're closing 1 in every 3, you're going to be closing 4 out of those 12 calls, to which at that point, when you're sending 1,200 emails every single month, this could be completely off, but this is just an idea. When you're sending 1,200 every month, you're closing 4 from that, and that would pay for your car. So there you go, reverse engineering of that. And the best way for you to do that is on this site called Miro, which I said yesterday. You can put your goal, and then you can completely backtrack like a flow chart. So you put this, then you put this, and then you're going to put 4 clients would cover the 2,000. One client is 500, etc., etc. You keep backtracking, right? So I think I could have explained that much better than I did, but I think you get the idea. It's quite hard to articulate verbally all this stuff and actually make it easy to comprehend, but you get the idea. But yeah, I mean, adding on to that, if you want to buy a car, Most people, like, I fucking hate so many people that just buy cars just because of the sake of buying cars. Like, they'll see a Lamborghini, like, they'll see a, not Lamborghini, they'll see a Mercedes. There's so many people have Mercedes and BMWs that are my age, or maybe a bit older, but they just can't fucking afford it. It's the people that you see that go to Turkey to get their teeth removed, and then they put new teeth in that are just, like, sparkling white. Like, we're talking financed Mercedes final boss. Those kind of fucking people. People just they dress to impress, right? They spend all of their money on what they look like exteriorly. Is that even a word? I don't think that's a word, but what they look like to the outsider's perspective. So everyone looks at them and they think, yo, this guy's fucking rich. Oh my God, this guy's rich. This guy looks so rich. Oh my God, he's got Balenciagas. Oh my God, he's got this. And I was stuck in this hole back in the day. So this is my one bit of advice for you. I was stuck in this hole back in the day, and I was working with Fortnite creators. I explained my whole backstory in a recent video, but I was working with Fortnite influencers, and I was about 15, making about £1,200 a month, which for a 15-year-old, that's a good amount of money, especially when you make it from your computer. So I had no boss, I had nothing. I was self-employed. I was just doing whatever the fuck I wanted, playing Fortnite all day, and I had to post for some influencers every day. That was my day-to-day job. So it didn't really seem like I had a job. I just had to post on influencers for some influencers. I had to post on Instagram for some influencers. That was where I was at with in life. And with that, I was making a lot of money that my 15-year-old brain could comprehend. So, and it was something that didn't seem like work. So with that, I spent the most retarded money. Like, I would just spend money as if it didn't exist. I bought Yeezys, I bought Balenciagas, which were 550 fucking pounds, and I was like, yeah, that's 2 weeks' work. I can just. And I didn't have to pay rent because obviously I was 15. I was going to school, and it just fucked me up. I regret it, but I also don't, because it taught me a fucking incredible life lesson. And I'm now the smartest. Well, I wouldn't say I'm the smartest person with money, like investing wise, but I don't spend money like a fucking idiot. So, I mean, you'll see that I wear, like, if you go through my channel, you'll realize that I wear the same clothes every day. And I'm not saying that I'm rich now, but I don't go to a job, and I just literally I don't spend money on anything really. I spend money on experiences, because time is one thing you don't get back. So that's why I went to Athens the other month, and I just kind of. He messaged me a week before and said, hey, I've broken up with my girlfriend. Do you want to go to Athens with me? I've got the trip booked. And I was like, okay, cool. So I just went like 5 days later. So it allows me to do stuff like that, because that's where you should be spending your money, not on materialistic shit that brings you zero fulfillment, nothing. So that's my advice. Don't spend money like a retard. No one cares about what you look like. When people look at you wearing expensive clothes, they don't think about, oh my God, this guy must be so successful. They think about themselves wearing that stuff. They think about what they would be like, what it would be like for them wearing Louis Vuitton t-shirts, Louis Vuitton bag, having a Porsche, whatever. They dream of themselves in those shoes. So, it goes back to sales. It's the same idea of the person that you're talking to. They don't care about what it is that you have, how big your ego is, and how many clients you've signed in the past, what you've done for the clients in the past. Yeah, it builds a bit of trust, but on the whole, what they're looking for is what you can provide to them and how you are going to change their life, because it's all about them, not about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They give a fuck about what you're going to do for them. So you just need to make them understand what their goals are and where they are at right now, and how you're going to get them from A to B, and what you're going to do to get them there, basically, and make them understand their current position. And if they don't take action, then they're going to be kind of stuck in the same hole, and they've got aspirations. So if they've got aspirations, this is how you're going to get to this point, kind of thing, and this is how we're going to do it, and this is how it works. But you just don't sit there. Don't fucking sit there with a monotone voice. I've seen this happen in calls with people in the past. Like, I'll just be sat there as like a cool viewer, if that makes sense. And they'll have a proposal and they'll just sit there reading the fucking script. Okay, so we're gonna do this for you. and then we're going to do this, and then this is going to do this, and this is why we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this as well, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and we found that if you do this, you're going to get these results. No one goes, you've probably fucking switched off with me doing this. You're like, yeah, move on, mate. We don't give a shit about what you're saying. And you're gonna get bored of me doing that. And of course I'm just saying we're gonna do this. But when they're just talking about random shit about the business and how our business works, they don't give a fuck about how our business works. They give a fuck about whether your business works and how your business is gonna get them from A to fucking B. It's as simple as that. They don't give a fuck about you or anything. And it's the same thing as like everything. I mean, if you fuck, how am I talking for so long? I didn't think this was gonna be long. If you read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, which is a very mainstream book, of course, so it's kind of well read by a lot of people now. But you'll realize everyone likes to talk about themselves, and no one really is really that interested. But if you show an interest in them, they appreciate it so fucking much. Like if you get caught in a one-off, just kind of be aware of it next time you're in a situation with someone, like a one-to-one conversation. You talk to someone and they will just start, if you ask them about their life, unless they're kind of self-aware like I am, I hate talking about myself because I know that they don't give a fuck. Like that's the kind of world that I'm in, right? But you'll notice that everyone loves talking about themselves. And if you can just, this is so like, I don't want to say sociopathic or whatever, but it's like if you want someone to like you, all you've got to do is listen. Just be very attentive to what they're talking about and very attentive to them talking about themselves. And then if you can just sit there and place yourself and just be like, oh yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, this and this. Oh, I was thinking, I realized this the other week, and and this happened, and yeah, so yeah, I completely understand. And they'll be like, yeah, exactly. And then they'll be like, just keep talking about themselves. And if you can just show that you're listening, mate, you're gonna get fucking far. That's basically how it works. It sounds fucked, it sounds sociopathic, but it's just how it works. Simple as that. So, just my advice to you, although I am 20, so take it with a grain of salt, as I always say, because of course my opinion is going to be incredibly flawed, because I'm nowhere near as wise as these guys are at the top, to any extent, but I'm trying my best to learn, and I'm literally just explaining to you the things that I've learned, so you can kind of pick up on it, right? But, I've just realised you've got a bit of clothes hanging off. Yeah, so that's my advice to you, and take it as you will. I feel like there was something else I was going to say then, but I've been talking for almost half an hour now, so I think it's time to wrap it up. But yeah, just be aware that no one actually cares about, most of the time, no one cares about what it is that you're talking about. They want to talk about themselves, and if you can position yourself in that regard, in most situations, you're going to be a very likable person. You're going to get very far, both networking and everything else. Now, of course, you've got to talk about yourself somewhat, but on the whole, people don't really care. They just want to know that you can provide value to them, and that you are who you say you are. And that's the same thing with sales and the sales call. That's how much they want to know. They don't want to know all the fucking details, because it just sounds like work to them at that point. They just want to know how you can get them from A to B, and why they can trust you. And when you've done that, that's when you can close the sale. Simple as that. So, and when I say the sale, I mean with relationships, I mean with anything else. You've just got to listen to other people, because it's tough. It's a cold world in that regard. I know, but that's how it is. And when you know that, you realise that it is a cold world, and you're just kind of sat here. And I just hate I hate interactions that are just like meaningless, right? Like meaningless interactions. A lot of people my age, they go to university and they just have so many of them, and I just hate that kind of stuff. And it's not that I'm really antisocial and I'm just not good at talking to people, because that's like one of my I'd like to think that that's one of my things that I'm best at is kind of conversing with people. But I hate meaningless conversations that are just absolute, just get you nowhere, you know. So I kind of avoid that, and avoid the social gratification stuff of partying and whatever. I'm not into that kind of life, you know. I've got something that I want to build, hence why I'm making these videos right now, and I imagine a lot of you are kind of the same boat as I am. So that's kind of where we're at, and I've managed to talk for 30 minutes straight now. So I'm gonna wrap that up. I hope you get the point, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow night for tomorrow's video on day 89. And yeah, appreciate you boys. See you tomorrow night, and yeah, I don't think there's anything else I want to say. All right, cool. Cheers, boys. See you tomorrow night. Goodbye. And sorry, I'll link Evan's Instagram below. Oh shit! One thing. I'm releasing my newsletter tomorrow. Third week in a row. At 2 p.m. If you want to subscribe, you can do so. Link in the description. Yeah, I'm so proud of these newsletters. I put a lot of time and effort into them, making them as valuable as I can and as concise as I can too. So you can gain as much value as you can from them, rather than just making you read a load of shit for like no value. I try and make it concise, and yeah, so I'm trying to build that this year. So if you want to subscribe to that, link is at the top of the description. Then I'll put Evan's Instagram. Please go and follow him. Like unreal guy, really smart, and same age as me. So please go and drop him a follow on Instagram. And below that I'll put Miro, so you can backtrack all of your goals and everything that you want to do in your life. You can backtrack it and understand how you're going to get to where you want to get to, and the vehicle that's going to take you there. So with that said, I've been talking for 30 minutes and 55 seconds. So yeah, subscribe to the newsletter tomorrow, 2 p.m. UK time. With that said, appreciate you watching, and see you tomorrow for day 89. But yeah, appreciate you boys. Good night.